So good morning. This is Derek Demore with Futures Demore and Futures Networks Live. We're going to go over our opening bell trade and what happened after that, and the proprietary signals for a short. And at this time at 9:30, it looked like we were above this channel, so it was a little bit dubious, but 38.50 might have been a good spot to go short. We were kind of testing some limits here on triple tap. So yeah, that even though the signals were short, it still looked long for a while. We were above the 200 period. So I think everybody in our group went short, and I think we did pretty well, as you can see. Well, let's see what happens. So once we broke the channel, so I don't know if we got to 50, but 49.50 would have been a good short. And then the next one, come up and test the bottom of the channel, and then did one more test. Ooh, we did get up to 50, but that was a little bit later. So about by 10 o'clock, we were well down and could have had at least 30 points in that trade. So that was a really, really good call. Thanks, JB, and all the opening bell traders, who I'm sure did pretty well. And then it got really crazy. Average candlesticks for a while were 10 points today. So I hope you stayed safe with your risk management. So now to see what we were going to predict for the next day. As of yesterday, we were down at the bottom of this channel, and we were coming off of some significant support. And so the big question was, if we turn around and go long, if we break the 38.85 level and the doji at 38.78, where we're going to go up and start to break out and then eventually retest the all-time highs. Or we're going to come up to about that level and then bounce down and then retest the lows. Well, it looks like it was the latter of the two. We only got up to 58, so we didn't even make it to the bottom here of the 72 to 77 to 85. So today was really, I think, just a lot seems to be coming out of equities and going into bonds, because the bonds are at 1.5% on the 10-year. So it seemed to be a rotation, and that was significant. As you can see, we went all the way down to the 2 sigma on the daily. Let's look at the 4-hour really quick. Similar, we haven't had a close above that 38.35 on the 4-hour since the 25th. So, and that was a huge move down. So right now we're below the 200 period on the 4-hour. We haven't had a close above the 38.35. So really that's what I'm looking at right now. We did hit very close to the 37.80 that we had talked about a while back. If you're looking at other potential bottom, where could we go from here? 37.25 looks, 37.26 looks very much in the cards if we don't get a bounce off the 618. So it all depends on the bonds and what the government's doing and things that are going on. So we'll see what happens on Monday. We'll see what happens over the weekend. Right now everything is below the S1 on the 5-minute, and we are definitely in a sell-off mode right now. So let's look at the M2K and the MNQ. So slightly different. The MES is right at the S1 finishing the day. The M2K and RTY are halfway between the 200 period and the S1, the Fibonacci retracement. So we'll see how that's going to end up. We ended up a doji on the day for the M2K, and we kind of double tapped that 2164. So a little bit more positive than the MES-ES, although the MES-ES definitely looks more bearish than this one. So we shall see what happens. We are definitely in an oversold position, and we haven't really the line of demarcation seems to be right at that 2200 level, maybe 2192. So we'll see what happens over the weekend again on this. It's really interesting how this rotation works, right? Because a few days ago, the MNQ was looking the most bearish of the three indexes, the MNQ, NQ, the NASDAQ. But now, I mean, we're barely below the 200 period on the 5-minute. And today, where the MES, ES had a blue down, down day on the dailies, and the RTY M2K had a doji. This had actually an up day. So a little different. Still, I mean, still bearish looking, but definitely better in terms of the 200 period than the other three. So this one might be leading the charge. I know today it was really interesting. The M2K was about 30 to 60 seconds ahead of the MES. So if you were watching them side by side, you could almost predict what one was doing to the other. I suggest that you start looking at the three markets and seeing which one is leading the other, because each day it's different. And there's little tells, and you can kind of pick up on which one's leading which. And obviously that's an advantage. That's an edge. That's what Mark Douglas talks about, to get that edge so that you can capitalize and make money. And I think that that's what Futures Networks Live, our social, club that we have, our peer-to-peer sharing, helping each other to get better. That's what we're going to talk about on Monday, is which little index is leading the other one. And we'll do a blog on that. So thanks for being with me this morning, and hopefully you had a profitable week, and stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday morning. Take care.